All right, we're excited to be joined now by Garrett Bradbury. Garrett, thanks for joining us here in the studio. First time we've had you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
And I got to ask you, your Pro Football Focus's #1 ranked pass blocking center here through 2 weeks. I know it probably doesn't mean much to you, but really solid game for you guys. I've traditionally felt like, and maybe I'm wrong, but it takes a little while for the offensive line to maybe get in sync. You guys have a lot of new pieces, but it seems like you come together pretty quick. How's that happened?
Yeah, it's never a finished product. I feel like we got a lot of good reps in the spring. Personally, I'm used to like more jog through walkthroughs in the spring, but Coach Vrabel has working, and it was a good training camp. And you're just trying to build week to week. You're trying to be better week 3 than you were week 2, and so on. So we're doing some good stuff. I think there's always stuff to clean up, but I'm having a lot of fun working with the guys in the room.
Before we get into last week's game, I wanted to ask you about Coach Vrabel because you just mentioned him, and I was talking to Jared Wilson, one of your teammates, and he said that Coach Vrabel says that he wants you guys to finish in the end zone when you're down by the goal line. Just what kind of influence has he had on the offensive line room, and how many pointers and things like that as a guy that lined up on the other side of the ball his whole career can he provide for you guys?
Yeah, I think from a technique standpoint, he spends more time than I've ever seen a head coach spend in the O-line room. I think in the spring he came in, he said, hey, my son played this position. I know if this room's not worth it, anything, then this team's not. And so he'll sit back there and he'll give us some nuggets like, hey, this is what the defense is thinking on this play. This style of defense is trying to do this, so we need to attack this. So schematically he helps us, but then I think more importantly it's identity. There's an identity he wants his football team to play with, and he always says it's not just a sign on the wall. We got to make it come to life. And that's kind of the fun part of playing football, right? Like you mentioned about the red zone. Like if we're running the ball into the end zone, that's a good thing. And if we all finish with our guy in the end zone, it'll probably be a touchdown. So that's just kind of the style and attitude that we want to help bring to life.
I was going to say, or a 2-point conversion, because
I
felt like that final
awesome.
2-point conversion, I noticed, and we had a caller today on our show calling specifically about Jared, just his finish on that play and how excited he was. I mean, that play kind of put the cap on it for you guys. Was that one of those moments?
No, it's huge. The ball's on the 2-yard line. They're all thinking we're going to pass it, and we can just run it right up the middle. Get a good combination and just let the running backs find a little crease and hit it. So that's a big momentum changer in the game when it's kind of deflating for a defense, for a team, when they sit out there and watch a run on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and just sticking on Jared and obviously Will as well, 2 rookies on the left side there. As a veteran guy, just what are your impressions of them so far?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They're fun to have in the room. I think it's hard being a rookie because you got some duties and you got some expectations, but at the same time, they're playing a lot of snaps for us, meaningful football. And so we're trying to help bring them along, and I think they fit in great to the room personality-wise. And like I said at the beginning, it's just we're trying to be better each week, and I know they certainly are too.
You were a first-round pick as well. Just what's it like coming in with those kind of expectations for someone like Will? Everybody's been talking about him, the left tackle spot, all that. Well, from your experience, what do you kind of share with him?
Yeah, I think as a competitor, you always want your expectations to exceed everyone else's. But it's tough. It's not easy. Everyone's, especially at O-line, like if you do anything wrong, you're the worst, right? Like all the blame, no glory. And so he's just got to take it one day at a time. We've talked, and Coach Marone has done a great job. He's been in the league for so long. Kind of explained to us like what great O-lines and what great O-linemen personality traits were, how they worked. But you just got to take it one day at a time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Ramondre's 21-yard run in the game on Sunday, because it looked like Drake maybe made some changes there pre-snap at the line of scrimmage before you guys ran the football there. I know there's a lot on Drake's plate in terms of the communication and things like that pre-snap. Well, what have you seen from him in that regard, and can you just break down that run for us?
Yeah, he's got command. It's some of the play calls have an alert on them, and we'll want to get to a better looking picture, whether it's better leverage or whatnot. But he's got great command of the huddle, of the offense, and he's going to get us in the right play. So once he gives us an ID, we can just get downhill with it. And the more we can run the ball like that, the more we can take off of his plate. I think the better we'll be as a team.
Looking forward to this weekend. I got you. Another quarterback. You spent 6 seasons in Minnesota watching Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
What was your experience like watching him play? And, I'm sure you've seen him probably tear your heart out a couple times, I'd imagine.
Yeah. He's been an unbelievable player in this league for such a long time. I have a lot of respect for him. It'll be a good test for our defense, and we know offensively we've got to do our job. We got to put some points up to help the defense out. So it's it's week in and week out. You know, it's at every position. There's some great players, so you just gotta bring it every single day.
When you look at that Steelers defensive line, Cameron Hayward
Yeah.
always stands out.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, obviously. What kind of challenge do those guys present?
I mean, they're smart players. You don't play in this league for that long if you're not smart and really good at football. So it'll be a good matchup for us up front. Like you got to bring it every play, and I think it'll be a good test for us. We got to run the ball. We got to protect the quarterback. Like just the same job we have every week, but we just got to keep building from week to week.
I'll ask you one more silly one. I'm sure Evan's got one more football question for you, but you guys are going to be throwbacks this week. Like, what's your assessment of the Pat Patriot throwback helmet? I think you guys look pretty tight out there. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't pay too much attention to it. I think some of the skill guys will kind of swag it out a little bit more than us linemen. But yeah, I think the white helmets are cool. I think the old logo is pretty sweet. So,
Well, it's kind of like a center, though, right? I mean, it's like a little bit you.
The first time we were in the studio with Coach Vrabel, he put me on the spot, and I was standing right in the corner over there, and he said, you know, what's your favorite run play? And I had nothing prepared. I had no idea he was going to ask me that, so I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, what's your favorite run play?
The one that goes the longest? I don't know. It depends on the defense. I like some outside zone. I do think you have to kind of have it all. But I like a zone scheme. I think a gap scheme is a good change up.
Yeah.
But I just like getting some good combinations and double teams and getting downhill.
Yeah, I said power, which I think might have been what Ramondre's run was on maybe. But outside zone for you makes sense because you're an athletic guy, and I could see you fit in that scheme. But I definitely was caught a little off guard, and I know he puts people on the spot like that sometimes in your meetings. So maybe I got a little taste of that.
Yeah, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
So just stay ready with an answer.
Awesome. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for taking the time, and good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you
Garrett.
guys for having me.